You're listening to a Fresh Paths podcast from Newlife Erdington. The Fresh Paths podcast is a fantastic aid for your journey of faith. Each week we offer you a sermon, testimony, or a bite-sized Bible lesson that is perfect for busy people on the go. The Fresh Paths podcast makes it easy for you to get your regular dose of inspiration and wisdom. So with that being said, let's get to it. And welcome to the Fresh Paths podcast from Newlife Erdington. And this is the first of a, you know what, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this in 2 parts or 3 parts, but we'll find out. But we're looking at the message of hope. And the reason I'm doing it this way is I brought a sermon to church. I shared a sermon on Sunday, the 23rd of July, 2023. But due to some technical difficulties, the actual recording of that sermon was full of dropouts and it just wasn't suitable for adding to the podcast. So I thought, okay, life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So that's what I did. I thought, okay, why not rewrite the sermon, split it into a couple of parts and re-record it as a podcast for the channel. And here we are. So there are essentially going to be 2, maybe 3 parts to this topic I'll be bringing you. And in this particular episode, we're looking at the nature of hope. The nature of hope. Now, in our modern language and culture, the word hope often conveys a sense of uncertainty, almost like wishful thinking. However, the biblical concept of hope is entirely different. It's not a mere desire. It's not just wishful thinking. Rather, it's an unwavering confidence deeply rooted in the promises of God. I'll repeat that. An unwavering confidence deeply rooted in the promises of God. So if you can imagine a ship that's caught in a storm, the waves are raging and threatening to kind of, toss that ship all over the place. But if you've got an anchor, an anchor to hold that ship steady and prevents the ship from drifting away, that's the same way that hope serves as an anchor for our souls. When we place our faith in God's promises, we drop down the anchor of hope and it secures us in the midst of life's storms. Now, hope is intrinsically linked to faith, and for us to understand hope a little bit better, I think it's helpful for us to explore 3 aspects of faith: past, present, and future, if you like. So in the past tense, faith involves believing in what God has already done. So in Hebrews 11 verse 6, it puts it like this. It says, whoever comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So faith in the past is what connects us to the redemptive work of Jesus Christ on the cross. In the present tense, faith calls for us to walk in the Spirit, a walk of faith. It is a chance or an opportunity for us to live out our convictions, live out our beliefs, if you like, to walk the talk. Rather than just talking, we walk in the talk. We're living out what we believe, and we do this in our daily lives, or at least we should do. And the expression of that type of faith, or this aspect of faith, is done through confessing, reading God's words, engaging in prayer, continuously allowing our minds to be soaked in and transformed by the truth. Now, if we're looking at the aspect of future, then faith takes the form of hope. We hope for things that have yet to be manifest. So just like an engaged couple, they will get engaged and they're eagerly anticipating their wedding day. They are making plans. They have every intention that they are going to get married. There's no doubt about it. And they will express that belief, express that understanding that this is going to happen. Through what they do, they will book the venue, they will get measured up for clothes, they will arrange for the cake, they will invite people to attend their wedding because they have a hope that they are going to get married. They're not wishful thinking. It's not a might be, I'm not too sure. They have a secure, confident, unwavering hope that they are getting married, and they will live that out until that happens. They will do all the things they need to do because they are getting married. Our hope is anchored in the assurance that God is faithful and is true to his promise. Now, life is, understandably, it's a series of challenges. When you're a child growing up, life is, for most of us, life is just fun. We have very little responsibilities, very little difficulties. When I was growing up, a bad day at school was because I had double maths or something like that. Now, I would love to have double maths every day than some of the problems and challenges I face now as an adult. You know, in life, we sometimes encounter situations that seem overwhelming. And it's in these very moments that our hope is put to the test. I was watching a video interview by Joe Rogan, and he was interviewing an ex-Navy SEAL instructor. And this Navy SEAL instructor was talking about the admission process, if you like, that those people that are looking to join the Navy SEALs, what they go through in order to pass that test to become part of this elite group. And I believe, if I'm recalling this correctly, this actual program, if you like, lasts for about 6 months. It's 180 days. So I believe that's around about 6 months. And there's a particular point of this program which they call Hell Week, Hell, Hell Week. And Hell Week lasts for about 5.5 days. And this, if you like, is the pinnacle of their induction, well, not so much induction, but their testing as to whether they will actually make it as a Navy SEAL. Now, what he said, I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he said that obviously during this whole program, the 6-month program, they have people that drop out. But the most likely place that people are going to drop out is during Hell Week. And there's many things that happen in Hell Week. I mean, they're continuously doing stuff, running, swimming, cold weather, cold water, carrying boats on the top of their head, not on their own. They're in teams of, I think, 6 or 8. And sleep deprivation. During this 5.5 days, they have a maximum of 2, maybe 3 hours sleep. That's it. No other sleep. All the rest of the time, they are working, they are running, they are swimming, all sorts of stuff. And if anybody's going to drop out in this 6-month program, it's most likely going to happen in that particular period. And he said that whenever somebody drops out, they have an interview with them, an exit interview, if you like. And they always ask them why. You know, this is something that you said you wanted to do, that you grew up wanting to be a Navy SEAL. This is what you were born for. This is what you told us in your application. You said this is what you're living for, is to become a Navy SEAL. Yet you've dropped out. Why? And he said, almost without exception, maybe not in exactly the same words, but almost without exception, they will always say they were overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed with the challenge. They were overwhelmed with the pressure of what happens, culminating in that Hell Week. And sometimes we find ourselves overwhelmed by life, and we think and feel that we just want to drop out. We've had enough. We've been pushed to our breaking point, and we don't see that there's any way out apart from just walking away from God. But God's saying, no, have hope. These guys are going through rigorous physical and mental training, and it's designed to identify the mentally tough, the physically tough. And oftentimes in our Christian walk, God allows us to go through difficulties in order to strengthen us spiritually so that we can actually stand up against the other difficulties that are going to come along. So challenges, we don't like them, but they are there to help make us stronger. And it's to test our hope. We'll be exhausted, overwhelmed, tempted to give up. But it's during these testing grounds that hope becomes lifeline of hope. As I mentioned before, it keeps us connected and it keeps us steady and prevents us from drifting away from the truth of God. Hope in God's promises, it doesn't guarantee a life that's free from challenges, but it does ensure that we've got the strength and the endurance to face the challenges head on. We, according to Romans 5, verses 3 and 4, we go through these difficulties because it helps to develop us, to develop a robust character, and to actually, if you like, hone that hope that we have, sharpen that hope so we can get stronger and stronger in our walk with Christ. So this isn't the end. There will be another part, at least one other part to this. But I just want to encourage you, the connection between our hope and faith is profound. It's intrinsic. Hope is, I would put it, just an expression of our faith, particularly when we're living in hope, we're living with an expression of faith in what is to come. So let's embrace God's promises, with unwavering faith, and we live that out in hope. And I pray and trust that you've received something from this particular episode, and I will be joining you when I drop the next episode on this channel. Until then, God bless you and have a great day. Been listening to a Fresh Paths podcast from Newlife Erdington. We hope that you not only enjoyed the message, but that you will be able to apply some of what you've heard to your own life. For more information about our church or to contact us for prayer, go to www.newlife.org.uk.